Hello there, everybody, and welcome to the Heat Army podcast. What a couple of weeks we've had. Apologies that we weren't on last Thursday, first of all. I had to take my mum to hospital for an x-ray, an unusual time, 9 o'clock at night. And wouldn't you know, we got there, they had no record of it. So it was a wasted night as well for us. But we're here tonight, and we're going to make up for it. We've got Paul Blackett's joining us as well later on, so it'd be great to talk to him. He's in a good run of form at the minute. Getting his chance in a starting lineup and scoring goals. And also as well, we're going to be joined by Mark Crovers, who's going to speak to us very, very shortly just about recent things, what's going on at Gateshead, because there's nothing bad to talk about at the minute, and that's very strange as a football fan. But Mickey, it's season's greetings as well.
Season's greetings to all.
Yeah, Mickey, just we'll quickly touch a little bit on the last two games, but wow.
What was it Farsley, then followed up by that performance on Saturday? That's as good as performance I've seen against league leaders by a Gateshead team in a long time.
Yeah, and
Spain was missing as well.
I know that was. We'll get into that when we speak to Mark very shortly. I'll quickly go through it. It is a fully interactive podcast. If you haven't been with us before, you can send in your messages like this. Mark Fraser's put up the heat. We've got a friend of the show, Charles Waff. Good evening, boys, who took an amazing photo as well of the lads after scoring goals on Saturday. Follow them on social media. See them. They are some beautiful photos. And beating top of the league was amazing. It certainly was. Mason Ford. And we've got the lovely and charming James Rushmore is put, evening. Hope you're both keeping safe and well. We certainly are.
James.
Well, Joe has put, am I living a dream? Well, Joe, you are living a dream, and it's about to get better because Mark Gurvers is about to join us here on the Heat Army podcast. Hello there, Mark. How are you doing?
Did you not get the memo about Christmas jumpers? What's that about?
I know. As I said, one second. I can't liven up the stream, and I did have a complaint about this because Mickey has got one on. I haven't, but I can put the lights on because Kedwin Scott's granny was wondering where the lights were on the chair. She said it was the highlight of the show, and I remembered to put them on. So there we go.
Dave, I'm not being funny, but if lights on the back of the chair, the highlights of the show, you're doing something wrong.
I didn't want to say it. I was deeply offended, but you know, you've got to please what audience you've got. So then, Mark, it's hard to keep talking all the time about being positive. I mean, it's nice, but it's not the norm, is it, amongst any football club? But at the minute, things are we are living a dream, as Joe said there. Things are very, very positive, and dare I say, things outside of football could be the only things that could maybe hamper things.
Well, look, this isn't, it's not an accident why this has happened. This is down to careful planning. It's, thorough research of players coming in. It's working hard to get that cohesion between the players. I think it was after the York game, I spoke to Mike Williamson and said, it's a small squad. Let's be honest, you can see that. But it's a squad that the management team clearly trusts massively. And that's got to go two ways. And clearly every member of that squad trust the management team because they get treated in the right way, they get looked after, decisions are explained to them. It's I think what you're seeing now is I was going to say months, but it's probably years of hard work since Mike Williamson and Ian Watson came in. It's something that I think they've fostered for a couple of years to get to this point. So it's not just what's gone on over the last sort of 4 months of this season. It's what's gone on over just over 2 years now.
Yeah, it's a combination of things. I mean, we spoke probably at length, I think, all of us in private and on the podcast about that, the homework they've done in the personalities that they've brought in as well. These are driven young men that are battling for each other, and thankfully there's a good cohesion there. They're all good friends. They all support each other, and we're seeing that on social media and on the pitch. I mean, we just mentioned Charles Waff's photos there. You could see the togetherness in the photos, and it's something special, but as you say, hard work has made that.
I think what you're seeing is a group of players that have got something to prove, and there's a lot of players in that squad that have recently been, released by pro clubs or the lads who've come in on loan are trying to get themselves in the picture in the first team and in their parent clubs. But you look at the likes of Dan Ward. I mean, I think Dan, by his own admission, probably didn't have the season he thought he would have last year, and it didn't quite happen for him. Well, eventually it didn't happen for anyone, did it? Because it got curtailed. But then you look at what he's done this year. and he's become an essential part of that team. Owen Bailey, I thought, was a great sign. I said this to you at the time, Dave, that Owen's versatility, his mentality, his personality, they would all fit in at Gateshead. And he's just, for me, Saturday is the culmination of an upward trend in his performances. He's a little bit different to other people in midfield. I think there's only maybe Jack Hunter who does a similar job of that disciplined role in front of the back four. Although you've seen, as Owen can do, Jack has slotted in at centre back quite nicely in recent weeks as well. So yes, it is a small squad. I'll go back to that, but it's also a squad where there's a lot of versatility in there. There's a lot of players who can do a number of roles, and I think that's helping. It's going to be interesting to see what happens over the next month or so, because it is a crucial part of the season, you know, the kind of Christmas period and the early New Year. There's a lot of big games coming up, including local derbies. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens over the next 2 weeks in particular.
Certainly is. And Mickey, we spoke before the game when we seen the team sheet. We essentially had, maybe you would say, the backbone of the side, the player manager, the captain and the lead goal scorer missing. But you know, when Mark mentioned the versatility there, we looked like we weren't missing anybody on Saturday.
It's testament to them lads, like Mark said. They just stepped in, and Paul Blackett's come in and scored goals. Jack Hunter's come back into the team, will look solid, playing at centre half, and Dan Ward just stepped up the Ollie's role, didn't he? I mean, they are no mugs. They are absolutely no mugs, and they're 2-0 flat as them.
I mean, in the second half, they did change things. I mean, anyone would say that they would have to change things. They couldn't go on the way it was in the first half. They did make life a lot harder. They didn't really cut out many cast iron chances, but they made life difficult for us. But the damage was already done in that first 45 minutes.
Well, how many times have we done that, though?
Yeah.
We've done it all season. I mean, we've got early goals and got 2s and 3-0s up at half time. And that's testimony. I mean, let's go back a few years when Neil Aspin was in charge. Neil Aspin was a lovely bloke off the field, but his interviews were pretty boring, to be fair.
I'm glad you censored yourself there.
And you went to games and you were thinking, oh God. But Mike Williamson, it's like, I don't know, how can I say this? It's like Gary Mills, but a bit more intellectual. Because he talks about the process, but he always talks about us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you listen to interviews, that gives fans the hope. So what's he saying to the players? It must be lifting the players, because they are definitely responding to Mike, Louis, and Busted, and it's an absolute joy to watch.
It is. And Mark, I mean, we're going to be speaking to Paul Blackett, and we'll be able to find out more from him. But obviously, Paul's been on the peripheral most of the season. He's had a bit part player come on and carry on the good work the team's done in the earlier on the 90 minutes. But he's had to bide his time. He's obviously been. I'm not going to say he's happy. I don't know. We'll find out. But he's been playing his part as the unit of the team. Now he's got in there and he's taking his chance. And that just shows you the man management must be doing well behind the scenes, because it is a small squad, and if you've got that amount of players, they'd be expecting to play when it is a small squad.
I don't think there's ever been any doubt about Paul's talent. He's or his mentality for that. He's went out on loan. He went to Whitby, did very well. He went to Spartans and did very well. And you look now and you just think, I thought when he came on against Charlton, he did really well as well, against a good quality opposition, obviously League One opposition. He's got a knack of getting key goals. He kind of, you look at him, he must be a nightmare to defend against, because he just doesn't give defenders a minute. He's like a terrier, isn't he? He's
Russell, you kind of get him over when he's got the ball.
He reminds me of Wayne Edgecombe, if you can remember him.
Yeah. You see, I mean, we see a similar type of rule, but maybe a little bit deeper from Campbell, where he can hold the ball up and distribute it, whereas it keeps the play going, whereas Paul can be up there by himself, hold it up and wait for people to get around him. So it's a different string to the bow of the attack. So it brings in, something different that we need, say if you need to change it up in a game if you're chasing a goal.
Well, I think when you look at the attacking players, Gateshead have now got multiple threats, and I think in the past we've sort of, certainly last season, possibly a season before, where you've been looking, if it didn't happen for one player, it would be difficult to see where goals would come from. But now, I mean, you look at the win at where was it last week? The 4-3 at Farsley. Yeah, all 4 of them scored. Like, when was the last time Gateshead had 4 different strikers score in the same game?
When any teams have that, it doesn't matter.
Well, exactly. Yeah, you look at and again, I keep using that word mentality, but you look back to that 4-3. Now at 3-1 down, I think against most teams, Farsley would have thought that's game over now. But I think with Gateshead now, there's a little bit of a fear factor creeping in that people know they've got to go until the 90th minute or the 93rd, 4th, 5th, whatever minute, because they just won't let things go. I think we could say we've probably seen teams in the past where if they've been 3-1 down away at Farsley with however long left, it would have been, that's it, game's gone, let's focus on what's next. But there's something very, very different about this Gateshead team. And I was talking to someone yesterday about it, and I was saying, I've seen some good dressing rooms in my time in non-league football and working in non-league football, but I haven't seen too many as close as this. Yeah. Like you said earlier, Dave, they all get on, they're all pulling the same direction, and to use a cliche, but it's working. And I think, again, I'll go back to, and I must apologise because Mickey mentioned him, but I didn't mention Louis' story. But you look at the impact he's made, not just on the pitch where he's been brilliant, but off the pitch as well. He's bought into the culture that Mike and Busted had in place, and Chris Bell as well. It's a strong management team that have put a system in place and a process in place, as he said, where players have bought into it, and everyone's just, as I say, pulled in the same direction.
Yeah, it's just been a joy to watch. And John Laverick makes a good comment here. Is put understated what Blackley gives to the team off the ball, stretching them, intelligent forward play. And obviously everyone follows the ball, but I'm sure if you sit and just watch one player, you'll see his movement where he is going across from side to side of the pitch, because it isn't just one way the ball goes up the top of Gateshead. We're trying to probe and find pockets to put the ball into, whether it's into the channel or crossed into the box. You've got to have your forwards moving, and that's what Paul Blackett was doing when he was playing on Saturday.
Were you going to show the goals now, Dave? Or are you showing them when he's on?
I can put them on, but we can put them on. We'll talk about them again when Paul comes on.
What I was going to say is, if you watch Paul's run for his goal on Saturday, it's an intelligent run, because he runs on the blind side of the defender. Now, I did say that at first sight, and I'll maybe say it back here, that I wasn't sure if he was edging towards being offside, but you've got to play on the last man. You've got to play within that sort of fine margin, and I just thought his run was exceptional. Probably didn't get a lot of credit. Great ball as well from Dan Ward, by the way.
He did it in I think it's either the first or second attack of the game. He was on the shoulder of the captain, Gareth Dean, and there was only ever going to be one winner in that foot race. And from then on, Brackley, well, especially the two centre backs, tried to eliminate that problem of having the ball run onto them by trying to win the headers and things like that. But yeah, as soon as he was on the shoulder straight away, here we are. This is the attack I was talking about. There you go. Yeah. Is this?
Well, the actual goal he scores, if you look at it, you can see the arc what he runs. It's a really clever run. I mean, we're blowing smoke up the lad's house. He hasn't even come on yet.
Yeah, but there. I mean, I'll just rewind that back a tiny little bit. How static that defense is as well. It's border. I'll just go here for the corner.
You're right, David. Is, but I tell you, you need to give Owen some credit as well.
Oh, yeah. It's just
not an easy header.
No.
Not an easy header.
The ball, I mean, it just whipped away like towards him. It was like pinpoint accuracy, wasn't it? It was a beautiful delivery, and credit to Ward as well, because obviously Ollie is the set piece taker, and Ward's come in and stepped up and delivered there.
He has. Quite literally delivered, hasn't he? It's a great ball in, but yeah, I just think if you look at the run, I mean, you've got to be looking at the number 4. Hasn't really done too well there, but to get a header with that much power, to beat what is a very good goalkeeper at this level, I think he deserves a lot of credit.
It certainly does. I think the goal is coming up next.
But what about what's going from corners and free kicks? I can't believe this is something that's been our weakness for years.
And again, that's not by an accident. That's by careful work. And again, I think Mickey said earlier, Brackley are no mugs, by the way. They're a very good side. They've only been beaten once this season, and I think I'm right in saying hadn't been beaten away from home. But look at the press here, the energy.
Right, watch the run here. Look, see how he arcs between the two players. That's really clever.
Actually, I take it back. He's definitely not offside.
My
And
worry,
Dave, I heard the commentary, Dave.
Yeah.
It was definitely his goal, by the way.
Yeah, I know, it definitely was. I was worried just in case, you see the defender sliding in on that. But no, he's, as I say, we'll be speaking to him very soon. And it's just been, I say, it's a joy for all of the players. And someone put a message up there, and dare I say, to go out and pick one at the minute, it's a strange situation to be in, because you can always go, oh, the only thing I would say was a weak link is our strength in depth. We had 3 on the bench on Saturday.
Yeah.
That is a little bit worrying. Yes, we went into that game and did our thing, but a knock here and there, things could have been very different with the depth of our bench on Saturday. That would be the only weak link I would say. Not on the playing side, it would be the strength of off the pitch. So I'd put that question to you too. What would you say?
I would agree. Sorry, Mark. Go on.
I think when everyone's fit, there aren't too many. When Mike comes back into the squad, when Elliot Forbes, who we shouldn't forget, comes back in the squad, and you mentioned Greg Ollie and Macaulay Langstaff. That there's a lot of options there coming back in that are all what you class as key players. If you're looking at the squad overall, I know there's talk of Louis Story being the kind of backup goalkeeper, but how many times do you need a backup goalkeeper? Jacob Chapman's done very well. That could be one, but again, I think that's something that would resolve itself. If everyone's fit, there's options at centre back, but is that a possible one where they could look to bring someone in just to strengthen it a little bit? I don't know, and that's not based on anything. That's just me looking at the squad. But I think when everyone's fit, it's a strong squad, and it's a functional one, as I said earlier, where people can, your Owen Bailey's, your Jack Hunters can play at centre back, Alex Nicholson can go in there as he did. So that maybe is why they haven't done that, because they know that they've got players that can fill in and players that they trust that can fill in those positions.
And also someone that we haven't mentioned yet is Kedwin Scott as well on Saturday. Just the work rate and the physicality of him, as well as being a silky smooth forward as well. It's just been a joy to watch him strut his stuff as well in a Gated shirt this season. I think everyone kind of hoped for goals with his records at Hebben, but wow, just another workhorse.
Look, it's not easy being a player that's been part-time and moving into full-time football. There's a lot of things that the impact on your body, that you start picking up those little niggles, the little hamstring pulls and, calf strains and all that sort of thing. But Kedwin's managed himself brilliantly. He's went to Carlisle. It hasn't quite happened to him. And I mentioned again that the point to prove, he had a point to prove to Carlisle United. Now he's gone to Gateshead and he's made an impact. He's got himself in the side. I think the 2 goals on the opening day of the season did him the world of good. And I think he'll only get better. He looks fitter. He looks stronger. He looks hungry. And he looks like someone that I think could definitely play another level, at very least another level higher.
I think he's quality. I really think he's... I mean, I know I'm going to use old players, and Davey will recognise this more than me. He reminds me of a taller Steve Harkes. He doesn't look quick, but he is. He's strong, and he scores goals.
Yeah,
he's been outstanding for me.
Certainly.
And, I mean, as we're talking about weak links, the only thing I think we've got is someone like Failed will be able to throw in as many players as they want in January or whenever, because they've got the bigger budget. If we get a few injuries, we could be up the Swanee. That's my biggest problem. I know we can always see when we've got a full squad, but when does anyone have a full squad?
It's a good point, but also as well, money can help get success, but it doesn't guarantee it. And I think Filed, the amount of money they've put in, they'll think, and we know they think, they should have been a Football League club by now, because that was their aim. They're quite forthright about that. Putting money in only works if you pick the right players, and that's not, there's no guarantee over that. I think if I look at again, go back to that process of bringing players in, I think if the right player became available that Mike and Busted and Louis thought would fit into the squad, they would explore that possibility. But until that player becomes available or is presented to them, then I think they'll go with what they've got, if I'm honest, because they know exactly what they want. It's been set in place for 6-7 months now this season. So I think until that player does come available, basically what I'm trying to say, a long way of going about saying it, they won't just bring anyone in just for the sake of it.
That. I'm not having to go.
No. I know.
Because I couldn't be happier the way it's going. But you've always got to err on caution. I mean, at the same time, we're getting excited, but we're only 16 games in.
Yeah, so it's a long way to go, and we've got a long way to go in the show as well. And we've got our next guest lined up, Mark. It's been an absolute pleasure, and also as well, had the pleasure of helping produce the Northern Goals show quiz tonight, which I think will be out in the coming days. Very, very good. You'll enjoy that. A lot of gated links.
There is a lot of gated links on there. It was good fun to put together, and an entertaining competition as it was last year. So many thanks for helping. But to everyone on the show, everyone watching, have a great Christmas, and let's hope it's a good one and a safe one as well.
You too, Mark. Have a good Christmas to you and your family, bud.
Bye. There we go, Mark Crovers. Fantastic to have him on. We've got Paul Blackett waiting to come on. We're going to play an advert from our sponsors. And when we come on, we're going to just before we bring Paul on, we're going to play it for the last time, and then we're going to retire it. The Paul Blackett video. So this is a message from our sponsors who we mentioned last week have just took up their another year's sponsorship. So big thank you to them, because we wouldn't be able to do the show or the commentaries without them. So big thank you to Northern Print Solutions.
Hello everybody, you might remember me. I'm that ball that Paul Blackett kicked down the Tyne. But look, don't worry, I found a new home, it's lovely. But please like and subscribe to the Heed Army podcast. Don't worry, Paul, I still love you.
Well, Paul, I hope I haven't.
Oh my God!
Come back and washed up the Tyne.
I'll never ever hear the end of this.
No, that's it. We're not going to put that on again. We've retired it now.
That's it done, yeah.
That's it done. I won't do that again. But Paul, welcome to the show. We've wanted to get you on for a while. How are you doing?
I'm good. All sound. So back in training tomorrow, and then obviously busy Christmas schedule.
Yeah, it's they come thick and fast now, don't they? And as I say, but the lads must be enjoying themselves at the minute, especially with the run of form that we're in.
Yeah. I think everyone loves it. Yeah. Obviously we're picking up the results on the way as well, and then obviously having such a good group, it just makes it all that better and easier, to be honest.
It certainly does. And so you've got on the score sheet as well in the past couple of weeks, and had a good showing as well against
3 games.
Yeah, it's happening for you at the minute. You must be happy to get in, and get a run of games, but also find the back of the net.
Definitely. Obviously, goals is a big part of being a striker. So, adding goals to my game and getting more minutes is probably what I want to get. But yeah, I'll get there. I think I've still got a little way to go in terms of fitness wise and stuff. Obviously, been like nursing a little niggling injury all season. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I feel good at the minute, and I'll only get better, I think.
Oh, as I say, that you can see the improvement on the pitch at the minute, and as I say, we've got obviously the highlights up from Saturday's game, and we started like a house on fire, didn't we, against Brackley? And I was expecting a little bit more from them, but I think it might have just been how we approached the game as well. We didn't give them much of the ball, did we?
I think that's the way we want to start games, especially at home. Obviously, being unbeaten, we don't want to change the way we play to suit anyone else. We go out there straight away, and from the first whistle, we're on it. So maybe took them a little bit by surprise, but I just think that's the intensity that the lads have got. Probably should have done better there, to be fair.
Well, I was just going to say, did that
Well,
give you?
we're going to say that, but you beat with the wit.
Yeah. Did that give you a little bit of encouragement when you knew you had the beating of the defenders there in a foot race?
Yeah. I think your first few touches of the game always gives you that bit of confidence as well. So obviously, when I've got him behind, then I've always thought that I can keep getting him behind here. So, and then obviously Bales has played the pass. He's actually just said as well to say Wardy could never play that pass. And I think you said Wardy passed that in the commentary.
Yeah.
So I think he wants a bit of credit for that one. Like,
oh, sorry, apologies there. I thought it was Ward that day. I was getting excited. That's what it was. But
he cannot just leave it, can he?
Nah. He wants the credit, man.
Yeah.
I know one thing I did message Wardy and tell him that during the commentary in the second half when he come over to take a corner, I said he comes strutting over like a majestic stallion. I was hoping it was going to be in the commentary, but it wasn't in the highlights.
It's what he thinks he is, like.
Yeah.
Majestic stallion.
If you watch
Probably once put in a stud.
Yeah, Instagram videos, he thinks he's a stallion. But we're about to see your goal here, and but
this is a corking run. This, mate.
Yeah, I mean the amount of times we've seen the front three or who's up there press the way they have and just create something out of nothing. And then obviously you did the hard work there. I was worried in case it was going to go down as an own goal at first.
Nah, never going down as an own goal. That.
Yeah, just when I seen him squeezing in, but you must have been buzzing with that one.
Yeah, I think it's the first one at home I've scored the season as well. I think every goal I've scored has been away, so it's just nice to get one at home as well. I think
it is. I mean, that put to bed. I mean, Farsley last week for me put to bed that penalty, but that one there definitely put it to bed.
Well, you said you were going to give us a kick up the backside if I didn't score on Saturday, didn't you?
Well, I said that. I said, was it the cup tie? I said it, and you scored in that one. And now maybe it's such saying every day.
Yeah.
So are you in on Christmas Day as well? Or
we're off Christmas Day. We're getting Christmas Day off. We're in obviously the day before, and then we'll have to do something to get out and keep our legs moving. Just obviously before the game.
Aye.
Because I thought you'd big games. The derby's over. The derby's over. Christmas are important. It's something we've not done too well in the past, so we'll be hoping to take full points. I don't know if I was offside there, was I?
I think you might have just been like.
I said you weren't. I'll not tell you what I called the referee and linesman. I said he was onside referee, honest.
I'm not going to lie. I think I give the linesman benefit of the doubt there, but just talking about recently in general, obviously the cup run as well, that must have been something nice as well, because the build up, and then I'm sure you've watched it back, how we were portrayed and how we portrayed ourselves as well. We didn't look like there was 3 leagues apart between us and Charlton in that game.
I think obviously going through the rounds against Alty, and then I think it gives the lads a massive boost when you can go to places who are doing decent in leagues above as well. Obviously, it gives you confidence to go into every game thinking that you can beat them. And we do that every game we go into. I think we've all got the confidence that we can turn up and put on a good performance and probably beat whoever's in front of us. So, obviously the cup run was good, and it was good to be a part of as well. It's a good experience. So, we can only take positives from it. And then, it was all good.
So, what's it like playing under the gaffer?
Oh, Mike's mint. He's very good, Mike. Very good.
Is he a shouter when he needs to be, or is he calm all the time?
Yeah. No, he can have a shout, but I think it's all positive. Obviously, he shouts when he knows that things can be better, and it's our doing. I think some of the goals we've conceded or whatever this year, it's just down to us. It's not the team's breaking it down. So, we're always working on what we can improve on, and he's always trying to see what we can improve on as well. So Mike's very good. So we'll just we'll carry on the good run, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Has Busted got over his Meg?
Oh, Busted's Meg.
Has he got over it yet?
Probably not.
that should be on link.
As
the finish would have been better after, but I'll take it.
You've done the hard work. Just to make him look a fool.
On a personal note, though, obviously last season you're on loan at Blythe, scoring goals, then you come back and in the season just obviously it disappeared.
Yeah.
That must have been a bit of a gutter to come back, and obviously we were in need of goals as well. You were in form. You must have thought this is my chance to nail down that number 9 shirt and be playing a game.
Obviously I loved when I went to Blythe, obviously getting the minutes and stuff, I liked it. I was doing well, and then obviously I got recalled, and then when I did get recalled, I was thinking this is my chance now to come back into the side, and really like sort of put my stamp on the team and playing up front. And then obviously the season got cut short again, and then during pre-season this year I was a bit ill, and then obviously I've been nursing an injury at the start of the season as well, so it's not been great so far, but yeah, I'll keep working, I'll get there as well.
But I mean, you'll have to get operated on, Paul.
I had an injection, like a steroid injection into my hip, so it doesn't feel too bad now, but we'll see how it goes. It's supposed to last for a few months, so yeah. Hopefully it keeps away.
Yeah. And I don't envy them injections, but say with obviously you scored a 5 goals so far this season, but I think you probably seen when we were talking to Mark before you came on about obviously the way the squad is at the minute, the unity, the camaraderie, and I've noticed as well watching yourself on the sub bench or when you're coming off, you're just as happy as if you've scored the goal yourself on the pitch, that there's no sulking or anything from any members of the team that haven't been involved in the 90 minutes. How I mean, I've never witnessed it, and seeing it at the minute, it's lovely to see, but what's it like to be in that dressing room at the minute?
If we win, I don't score, it's nothing. As long as the 3 points are there at the end of the game, I think everyone's happy. Busted Mike always say that the bench is so important. Obviously, your attitude around the starting 11 is important, because if you've got a bad attitude, it just breathes through the team. So if one person's got a bad attitude or whatever, it just spreads across the full team. So I think everyone's just got to stay positive and get around each other, whoever's starting, whoever's not. And obviously, as long as we're on the right end of the results, then it's all good.
Yeah, and as long as there isn't
win bonuses.
What's that, sorry?
Is there any win bonuses?
Nah.
I bet you wish you'd put them in your contract.
It's only when negativity is like, then there's some idiot on the podcast that'll make like a video of you.
Get hammered for 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh, man. We meant it in fun, Paul.
Yeah. It's
still funny though.
No, it is funny. It is funny.
It's been officially retired.
It's all good crack, man.
We'll have to come up with something for someone else in the team now to make their life.
Well, do you see Kedwin's shot on Saturday?
That's probably traveling the same area as where mine landed.
Yeah. When he hit it, I shouted, Paul.
I thought we had squashed this.
Yeah, we'll have it. I promise you, it will be deleted. It'll not be on.
No, it really won't. It really won't.
It will. I'll be able to come up with something else, hopefully.
So you had your Christmas party then, Paul?
Yeah, we went out last weekend as a team. Had a good night, but obviously straight back into it now. It's obviously an important period. So
who made a fool of themselves?
Ooh, I think everyone was pretty half decent, to be fair. I don't think there was much. We didn't get, obviously we got back late from Farsley and then went out after then. So yeah, it wasn't too heavy, to be honest.
Someone got a pin to get them spelks out Paul's arse. He's sitting on the fence here, like.
We wouldn't share.
He's just not telling one out, like.
No. Oh well. Also, as well, they realised how hot I am. If anything goes on Instagram, I'll get it onto the podcast. So they hit everything.
Well, it's funny you should say that, because the lasses will not tell me now neither when I go and watch them.
They know what we're like now. They know what we're like.
But I kind of getting out of the Paul Blackhead. I kind of getting out of the lasses.
I'll message you. I'll get some.
You'll have to come on the night out, we were.
Yeah.
It'll be. I'll be on the floor after 2 pints, man.
Yeah. Everybody drunk in a wheelchair.
The dragons run the rest.
I'd never be allowed back at the match if I went out drunk in a wheelchair. I'd injure them all. I'd run over the toes.
So who's the biggest prankster in the dressing room then?
Ooh, I think it's got to be Wardy. I think Wardy's up there. Wardy likes to mess about, like. Bales and Jack are just they're like Dumb and Dumber. 2 peas in a pod, them two.
Oh, he could have just set up the next video there, like.
They're class. Bales and Jack are class. You can't say nothing around Bales and Jack.
Yeah. Oh, he's spot on.
Right.
I think we've got a couple of messages from viewers at the minute. We've got one here from Mr. Luke. Sorry, that's the wrong one. There we are doing. So from a player's point of view, do you think we can get promoted with this squad?
100%. I don't see. I think. Yeah, I do think. I 100% do think we can get promoted. Obviously, it's just keeping up that run of good form. And not getting carried away with where we are. It's just taking game by game. You don't want to look too far ahead of yourself. Obviously, I think only how many 15 games we've played or something. So you don't want to get too carried away. There's still a lot of games left, but obviously, if we keep on the good run, there's no reason why we shouldn't. And
well, I don't want to put any pressure on you, but Joe's saying hat trick against Blythe.
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
It certainly would.
It would be.
Yeah,
would be nice.
I'd retire that ball for definite.
I would like that one. I would like that.
It already. But I say, Paul, thank you very much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on. And apologies about that video. But
no, it's absolutely fine. Thank you. I hope
good with that. He's going to play it all again.
Yeah, you have a good Christmas as well.
Best of luck on Boxing Day.
Yeah.
I'm going to say exactly the same as I normally say. If you don't score, I'm going to kick him at the arse.
Okay, you do that.
The good thing is, Paul's really fast and you're a bit flabby, so it's never going to happen.
I'm a fat old git. That's the truth.
Well, on that note, Paul, enjoy your Christmas dinner.
Thanks very much. You too.
Bye-bye. Have a good Christmas, mate.
Thank you. Bye. There we go, Paul Blackett there. Lovely to have him on. We are officially going to retire that video. And I got a message off Mark Rivers saying that was harsh. It's the first time he's seen it. So apologies. But like and subscribe, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Remember to like and subscribe and share the show.
And I'm going to be getting the green screen out shortly to make some videos. But talking about videos now, Owen Bailey, saying man of the match on Saturday, spoke to KSFC TV on YouTube. If you don't already like and subscribe them, do that. And you'll get these videos as soon as they come out.
When the lads reflect on that result and performance?
Yeah, I think it's a massive result. I think the performance on the whole was a good one. There were spells where we probably didn't quite have as much of a foothold as we wanted to, but you know, started really well, really bright, created a few chances, and then obviously we've scored 2 goals, and we never really looked back from there. And I think I thought the character of the lads really came out. You know, we're missing 2 big players for us, Maka and Greg, and I think we dug in without them. You know.
You touch on obviously getting a couple of early goals there. I mean, how much of an impact do you feel like getting those sort of early ones had on sort of the rest of the game, really?
Yeah, I think that's a habit we've kind of got. We seem to score a few early goals, and you know, it helps a lot because it sort of changes how the opposition sort of set up and how they then have to come out, which sort of suits us. So I think obviously scoring early really changes the dynamic of the game, and it helps a lot. So if we can keep scoring early, then it'll help along the season.
A first for yourself since joining the club. I mean, how's it feel on a personal note to get on the score sheet as well? Yeah,
buzzing. Me and Louis have a laugh about when I'm back for corners and stuff. I've been bugging him to go up, but I'm just happy that obviously one of them went in. So hopefully I'll be up more. But just happy that obviously I could score, but I'm happy that the team won. It was all about the result today. Everyone knew that, and I'm just buzzing that we got the win.
In terms of the second half, maybe not as many chances, sort of either side really, but a pretty resolute performance limiting Brackley, and they didn't really create sort of too much from their point of view. I mean, at half time was the message kind of keeping it tight, or are you still looking to try and add to the 2 goals you already have?
I think we're always looking to push on. I think the way we play, you know, high energy, trying to make it difficult for the opposition. I think that's just sort of over 90 minutes. You know, we want to be relentless and we want to always be on the front foot. So I think the message was obviously just sort of keep doing what you are, and obviously keep trying to add quality to that, and sort of stay on the front foot. And I think that was sort of what we did in the end.
And in terms of the 3 points, obviously always a welcome one to get a win, especially on home turf. Keeps the 100% home record in the league going as well. But how is it, especially against a team who are still top of the league, and it puts you, I think, 2 points behind Brackley with a couple of games in hand on them?
Yeah, as long as we can sort of keep doing our bit, we're just taking things game by game, you know. Every game at home we go into, we feel like we can win. Like you said there, you know, our home record is really good, and hopefully we can keep that up. But I mean, it's a bit early to be looking at league tables and stuff, but we're just taking things game by game, and if that's putting them in the right place, then we're doing the right things.
Well, I was talking away, giving it the big licks there. Forgot to turn the mic back on. That was Owen Bailey talking to Gateshead FC TV. Remember, do like and subscribe them on all social media for Gateshead Football Club. You'll get them interviews first. And also as well, like and subscribe us on all of our platforms. You'll find us by searching Heat Army Podcast on all social media apart from TikTok. And I'm not getting involved in that game. Can barely walk, never mind dance. So... we've got a little bit of housekeeping here. We've got 1 second. I'll bring this up. The Gated Soul. There's a match ball from the FA Cup, a raffle. So if you want to follow the Gated Soul social media accounts, there'll be links to go and buy the tickets on I think it's a GFC shop, where you can, I think it's £2 a ticket, and the draw will be made. I don't know if it's Christmas Eve or day before Christmas Eve, but still time to buy tickets. And what a bit of history to have there, and lovely packaged as well. I think that's absolutely fantastic. And also as well, friend of the show, friend of ours. He's always an ever present, listening to nearly every show and interacting. But we'll give him a birthday shout out. Arvid, happy birthday to our Norwegian fan. Let's say the Viking. So there he is. Happy birthday to him. Right, and we've got a message here from John. If Paul had a chicken balti pie in his hand, I bet you'd catch him, Mickey. Well, I'm not being funny. Oh, it was absolutely all the chicken and leek. Oh, I mean, I'm going to put this picture up again, but look at that. Pie porn. Oh, that.
Absolutely stunning, pies.
They certainly are. And also as well, for that special Gateshead fan in your life, get onto the Gateshead FC website, club shop, buy yourself or the person that you love a Gateshead top. Look at that. They look very smart, but also buy a pie.
If only you could order them in the club shop.
I know, it'd be great, wouldn't it?
Have 4 pies for delivery, please.
Yeah, if Dixon's want to send a pie over for live on the podcast, we'll gladly eat them for the pie fetish people out there. So I'm sure there is some. There's a fetish for everything these days. Right.
Don't go to Google, folks.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, as well, our next show we think will probably be on Wednesday, the 29th. We'll in between the Darlington and Blythe game. So we haven't got that set in stone yet. We'll see what happens over Christmas. Fingers crossed, games are on and we don't have things go back to the way they were. But we'll see what happens. And Roger Ely's put no calendars this year. We haven't done them for a while because the club started selling them, and we don't want to
club stores.
Yeah, we'd rather that money goes to the club. We don't really make any money on them at all. It's just enough to get them printed. Yeah, so we are going to try and do mugs though in the new year. We'll try and come up with a decent mug. So say we haven't done one of them in about 4 years, have we? I think Scott Barrow was the last mug, and they've always been very popular. So hopefully people can do that. And if results go away, we could be top of the league. I will faint.
Imagine it. If we win on Saturday, on Boxing Day, we could go top of the league if results go for us, and results go the opposite way. Our dear friends from Northumberland will be sitting on the bottom.
Oh, well, apparently the club aren't doing them either, as far as I can see. Well, we used to do season calendars. It would be from August to May with the fixtures in. So it would be a bit pointless doing that now. And really, I don't think in 10 days we could get it all printed and ready to sell. So even though non-print solutions are very, very good, I think we'd be just really, it wouldn't be a very good product if we rushed it from our end with the design. So, but yeah, maybe next season we'll look into that and say definitely merchandise with a new mug, because I think we've done 3 or 4 mugs we've done in the past.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can do it again. They're always great for the loved one in your life.
I've got a few in the house here, but the early ones I smashed and I dropped them at work.
What a nightmare. We're still hoping to have a family podcast. I know Meg is well up for it, Kedwin's grandma. We've got to get the Baileys involved. We've got to get the Ollies involved and any other family members that watch as well.
I think there's families I was there.
We've got to get them on. We're going to have to.
Ex-Gators player as well.
Oh, I've just had an idea. A family heed quiz. Oh, which family knows the most?
Family fortunes type of thing.
Oh, yeah, we could do that. From each family, we'd have them all lined up on the screen. It'll be great. So we're going to be reaching out for that. Like, we're going to see. But
that'd be good if we could do them. Get all your embarrassing photos of the players.
Oh, which player is this when they were younger? Oh, that's what would. It's just writing itself. This
it is.
It certainly is. But please do send in your messages as well. Any predictions for over the new year? Also, if you've got send any messages to any of your friends and family. We'll read them out. Why not? We're all right. We're not going to open the phone lines because too dodgy.
We all since Craig and Gordon got together.
Yeah. But also as well, I just wanted to say is obviously we've been doing this a year now, the video podcast, and we have been able to add different strings to our bow with it, with interviews and match footage and different things that we've been able to record in pre-season. But with obviously this, we're still not back to normal, or will we ever see that again? It does kind of restrict us on some of the things that we can do, especially at the moment. We are hoping in future to get like more fan interviews and maybe get a few people together and do a recording and then play it out on the show. And there we go. I need to make my return, says Mr. Luke. We will. But we want to do it right where it's good content, and that's always what we want to do. And we're always striving to get guests from the club. We don't, as I said to Mickey, we said it a lot of times, we don't like to reach out to the management of the club too much because we want to keep your powder dry. As I say, we could get them on and make a pain of ourselves, and don't want to do that. I think we spoke to nearly all the players. I think there's maybe 1 or 2 we haven't spoke to yet. And that's just the way we want to do it. We want to, and have the fans talking. It is a fans podcast. We work closely with the club, which is fantastic. They give us permission to have the players on, and we're very, very grateful for that. But what we do ask in return is that you like and subscribe to all of the club's social media. Find out when it is. Try and drag someone down to the game. It's an honor to put the commentary on, but it's best to be at the game. Just on Saturday alone, we had people listening from, I think it was British Columbia. We had over there from Dan Seaver. There was France, someone in Lanzarote listening in. We're reaching far and wide, but it's, if you are local, please do try and get down to the game if you're able to, because them lads deserve your support at the minute. They deserve a full stand, and to have another crowd over 1,000, especially with the climate, what's going on in the media. I said to Mickey before the game, I was worried in case it was going to be a 500 crowd, but people trickled in, and it was over 1,000, and it's just credit to the players. It really is. Mr. Lucas, are you doing commentary for Blythe? I am for the home fixture. So
they'll have the mixer one for the away one.
Yeah, and I imagine in between we might be able to get Niall on as well, who does the commentary for Blythe, and I believe he's the assistant media manager up there at Blythe now. So we'll speak to him. We'll have him on behind our enemy territory and chat in between the games. Of course, 3 big games coming up: Dalton, Blythe twice. What a week! We say if we win another game, it's going to get exciting, but it is. It just keeps getting more and more exciting, and just the next game's the most important one.
Definitely. Can I just have a shout out? There's a couple of people who are like David Tron, David Hebby, who's becoming more regular. I mean, Dave Hebby's been coming a while. Was one of the mates called Steve. He's a proper Cockney. He's moved up here about a year ago, and he started watching Gateshead, and he is absolutely loving it. To the point where he's trying to finish work to get the away games on a Saturday. That's how much Dad loves it.
I've noticed on social media there's a lot more people tagging us in tweets, enjoying the game or putting up photos, and anything we see we'll retweet, and there is a lot more people taking notice, which is beautiful. The FA Cup run will have something to do with that. The league form will have something to do with that. But the fans have something to do with that, and that's the thing, because we've all been sharing it. We all keep doing it.
We all keep sharing and retweeting.
Just got to keep doing it. That's what pushes it out. That's what pushes the club out. And so we've got a message from Jack Banham, the Brackley fan. He goes, "Do you want a quick 5-minute chat?" We'll go on and I'll send him a link. We'll see if we can get him on. But yeah, as I say, it's that's what it is. Everyone's just got to keep doing their thing. What's that? Say, I'm going to try and catch up with a word with JJ before the Boxing Day game. Well,
that's another thing. JJ deserves an absolute cracking reception from the fans in the stand. I would hate to think anybody booed him. I don't think they will.
No.
I hope JJ gets an absolutely fantastic reception at the club on Boxing Day.
I think you will. I'd be very shocked if not. We had hoped to get Stan Collymore on because he did follow us back, and we sent him a message. He read it and then just didn't reply because he was at the game.
Not the first, really, is he?
No, not the first. Not the first. No, it's a story of my life. But you never know. He might reply. But we sent him a link there to Jack, see if he wants to come on. We're on for another 5 minutes, and say just not going to ask for predictions because we know what we want. We just want 3 points, and hopefully we can get that throughout the over the Christmas period. And here is Jack. Hello there, Jack.
Good evening.
My word, he's in late now. Christ almighty, he's not a silhouette.
I've got my lights sorted.
Yeah, he's out of witness protection. Jack, I know you were listening in on Saturday, and I hope I called it as non-biased.
I thought your commentary was excellent. I did turn it up when it was 2-0. I couldn't be asked to deal with your goal. I was like,
You're honest.
I know the 5 who went, and they did say Gateshead are probably the best team we played this season.
Mm-hmm.
And I will probably back it up. I did watch you on TV against Charlton, and you were probably unlucky to lose it that game, in my opinion. I just think there's something about Gateshead that you'll win the league this year. I'll tell you that now.
It'd be nice. It'd be nice. I'm not counting chickens.
Thank you very much, Jack. I'll take that.
It's a strange feeling to go into a game knowing that if we play our game, we're going to get something out of it, at least a draw, And we spoke to Paul Blackwood before, and he said that a lot of times we've
filed. Have you played them yet this year?
Yeah, we have. Yeah,
played them twice, lost twice. Once in the trophy, once in the league.
You still there?
Yeah.
2-0 and 1-0.
Can you hear us, Jack? You froze. Hello. Oh, I think he's got a bad connection.
Have I looked? Can you see me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah. We've played File twice. We've lost twice. Once in the trophy and once in the league. But apparently in the league we were quite unlucky in that game.
Even the File commentator said we were the best team that played this season. So, my goodness gracious me, we get the 2.
We've lost them. See if he can get back on. But as I say,
I'm going to ask him with the cricket now.
Yeah. Oh, didn't talk about that. As I say, I'm not an avid follower, but I've seen the scores.
Yeah, been absolutely disastrous.
Yeah.
Big week for me next week and all, by the way, matey.
Oh, yeah.
We've
Is it your
got
birthday
Boxing
this week?
Day, Darlington,
Mhm.
and my 50th birthday.
Oh, well, what more present would you want? We've got Jack back here. Did you hear what we said? We said we played Fylde twice, got beat twice, once in the league and once in the trophy.
Okay.
But we were unlucky in the league in that one. We just couldn't hit the back of the net.
The few who went, apparently you were miles better than Fylde when we played them a month ago.
I think it's just a case of hopefully, you just hope there's no injuries or suspensions, because we've got a small squad. And but the big plus for us on Saturday is that obviously we're missing arguably best defender and the manager. We're missing the captain and the leading goal scorer as well.
I didn't know that. Who's that? Who's the guy who scored the first goal?
Owen Bailey.
I rate him so much. I think he's a quality player.
Yeah, I think to be honest, I think we've been very fortunate to have him. The circumstances haven't landed on our lap, because obviously he's from up here, got released by Newcastle United, and he's took up the challenge here, and I think the future is very bright for Owen Bailey. I think he's a very good player, and we're just seeing him develop over the whole season.
What did you make of Brackley on Saturday? Were we a poor side, like they said, or?
I think
You didn't create a lot, but you're not a bad side.
Not a bad side.
I'll say that, and that's not me because you're on. I was quite disappointed, but you can see you've got good players in good areas, but we just played well.
Credit to the 5 Brackley fans that came up. They got a round of applause.
That's one thing what I did want to say. On Twitter, Saturday night, don't know who it was. It was Gateshead fan. Did have a go at Brack, like saying how bad our support was.
There's always one idiot.
I did say to him, I tweeted him back, and look, that's why tweeted that. I rate Gateshead. I rate Gateshead highly. Fans.
No, during the game, the Brackley support got a round of applause from the stand. A lot of the stand stood up to applaud them, because we've been to games when there's only been a few of us, so we knew that. But back to your question about Brackley, I thought the first half, I just thought we moved the ball that well.
I did watch your highlights, and your press was just unbelievable.
Yeah. Just the space we got in the first half, because of how quickly we moved the ball. Obviously, I expected a tougher game in the second half, and we got that. Brackley started to come. I couldn't understand why they took Mitford off. He looked the most dangerous player in the second half. And then, but yeah, no, you can see why Brackley are top of the league. They're certainly not pushovers. I know we scored our goals well in the first half, but the second half, they made life very hard.
I've said it to most Brackley fans recently. If you told me at the start of the season we'd be top at Christmas Day, I would expect us to be around there, but I didn't expect us to be top around the likes of Boston, York, Fylde.
Yeah.
All them teams that should be there. Yeah. Top league Christmas Day. Last time we were top of league Christmas Day, we won the league. So
yeah. Oh well, it's going to go down to the wire. I think I think the teams are now just starting to pull away the teams that are going to be involved. I think the biggest shock is that obviously York aren't there. Not going to complain about that, but
by far the worst side I've seen at the stadium.
Oh, did you see today? The fans are in uproar. There was a statement put out about, obviously I don't know what went on with that, but the statement, but then they did from the official club account, they did a meme from the office about playing Slough, and apparently it went down like a lead balloon.
Yeah,
so the media officer down there is getting pelters at the minute. And, so
but
it couldn't happen to a nicer club. But yeah, but it's exciting. No, look at us a couple of seasons ago, or since we've been talking to you. We've had depressing times where the season ended.
Yeah.
We had when we first started talking to you was with the playoffs, and it's been
it's 2 years now, isn't it?
On a whole, though, you've got to look at it and go, well, look, both clubs are up there challenging. It's nice to be a Brackley and Gateshead fan at the minute.
It's just it's good to be top of the league for Christmas. If I think
don't get too comfortable because we'll see what happens on Boxing Day. But
yeah, I think for Brackley, if we get 9 points over Christmas, I know Gateshead have got 2 games and let's not look at Gateshead. Let's not look at other teams. We've got to get 9 points from this.
You've got Kettering.
Yeah, we got Kettering who beat Leamington 4-0, which is strange, but it's always a feisty affair against Kettering.
It was ours against Blythe. It's always feisty.
You can put form out the window, take FA Cup games against Blythe. So, but you would imagine ourselves, Brackley and Fylde will all be aiming for 9 points over this new year.
No,
because
I don't care. I don't care if we win 3 games 1-0.
I could just
a win.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many you win by, you still get 3 points.
Yeah,
you could win 1-0 or 5-0, you still get 3 points.
Yeah. Well, Charles, the club photographer, was talking to the Brackley's club photographer. I wonder who had the bigger lens. He shook my hand. Well played.
I've got a bigger lens than you.
Yeah. Charlie's got a big one on him, and he's got a big camera as well. So, but no, it's nice. It's nice to be in this position. We've had some depressing conversations. I know, obviously, you're on the wrong end of the result on Saturday, but hey, things are looking rosy. If it's just up there at the end of the season, challenging both clubs, I'll not be complaining because obviously we've made friends with you, and you know it's a strange thing that obviously we've had you come on a lot, and now we're up there together. It's fortuitous, isn't it?
I said Friday night, I said, look, Gateshead are unbeaten at home and we're unbeaten away. Something's got to end. And it was on the long end.
I'm glad it was your away record, though.
Yeah. Hey.
Well, it's nice, though. It's nice just to be.
It's great the two are up there. Brackley's top at Christmas Day. We're sitting a couple of points behind you with games in hand. We're hopeful, you're hopeful. The only thing that we're doing is the cricket.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for getting me depressed.
I'm getting depressed myself. I like me cricket and all, you know.
Well,
on that note, I might have to love you.
Yeah, on that note, we'll leave it. But I'm sure we'll talk to you with the reverse fixture later on in the season. And let's just enjoy it while it's happening because it's nice to be up this end of the league, isn't it?
Yeah. All right, have a wonderful Christmas and a New Year. Yeah. I'll speak to you in the New Year.
All the best to you and your family, Jack. Take care.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you very much. There we go, Jack. Well, I mean, that's on a positive note. You know, we've built bridges with a Brackley fan there, and we spoke to a Brackley fan after the game as well, didn't we? So when we were outside the ground. So yeah, it's funny how it's worked out. You know, both teams up there, and we've got a bit of a bridge built there, so it's nice. But if it comes down to us and them, it's us.
Jack, I would sure Jack would say exactly the same.
Exactly. So, it's if it was between anyone else, I'd say, oh well, if it's Brackley, it's Brackley. But we head into Christmas now. As I say, it's been an absolute pleasure. It's been a good show. Yeah. Thank you for coming on as ever, and thank you to everyone that's messaged in. And we always say like, subscribe, follow our sponsors as well, Northern Print Solutions. We'd love you to do that. As I say, with the way things are, let's hope it doesn't get locked down. Let's hope there's common sense used. Let's hope we all have a lovely Christmas. Santa's good to you. Let's hope the turkey isn't dry. And let's hope we give the scum what they deserve. Like the turkey, they're getting their stuff in. Really.
Yeah, I'm not going to I want to win.
Yeah.
But like you say, it's a derby. Anything can happen.
Yeah. Well, let's see. We've got Mick Scully's put, have a good Christmas, lads. Well, we're going to try. We're going to try. Let's put it this way. You know, we're sitting third in the league, 2 points in hand on the lead, 2 games in hand on the leaders, 2 points behind. It's not a bad Christmas present, is it? And we've had a good FA Cup run, you know. So
well done. to everyone at the club.
Yeah. It's been
Massive
fantastic.
well done.
Remember also as well, just before we go, if you are still with us, if you're watching to the end, why not buy yourself a raffle ticket to try and win an FA Cup Same Ball? There you go. That's what you want to do. Gated Soul, get onto them, and we will see you next week.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Bye.